they dabble in the free agent market, signing Drew Pomerantz to a 4-year deal, reportedly worth $34 million, according to Robert Murray of The Athletic. Started last year with San Francisco, got traded to Milwaukee, where he was awesome out of the bullpen. Speaking of Milwaukee and San Diego, those two tangoed in a 4-player trade. Off to the West Coast, Zach Davies, 26 years old, 10-7, 3.55 ERA a year ago. Also going with him, Trent Grisham, 23-year-old outfielder. Heading to Milwaukee, it's Luis Urias. Hasn't hit much in the show, but more than 300 in the minor leagues. And also left-hander Eric Lauer, who will compete for a spot in the rotation. So, Tom, a lot to chew on, especially with San Diego. Which of their moves do you like more?
Well, for the team building, I like the trade with Milwaukee. But as far as the Pomerantz signing, this is a great message to any pitcher who loses his spot in the rotation. Usually they get all bummed out about going to the bullpen. Pomerantz's velocity went up like 2-3 miles an hour, and he's parlayed that into millions. So good on him. But listen, this deal for the Padres is interesting because maybe they're down under Urias a little bit, but to me, it's taking on, there's a little more certainty with Davies over Lauer, and there's more money, probably about $5 million to pick it up. I like Davies a lot. I think he's a sleeper pitcher. He actually pitches more on the edges of the strike zone than any other pitcher. So you take his stuff with that defensive infield they have on the left side there with Tatis and Machado. I think his stuff is going to play really well in San Diego. I want to see what they going to do at second base, whether they're fully committed to Kinsler or they're going to shop on the market, second-tier second baseman. I don't know. But this is a fun move, Chris. It's need for need, talent for talent.
Yeah, by the way, the Brewers came out and said the Grisham trade, the reason that he's no longer there is not because of the boo-boo he made in the wild card game. I am buying it. I hope you are as well.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, this kid's got a big upside. Former first-round pick. I think he's going to play some center field. You know, that ball actually, if you look at that ball closely, it did take a bad hop. He was super aggressive, maybe a little too aggressive being a young player. But in his defense, too, it took a strange hop. But no, this is not like Jeff Weaver get up the home run for the 0-3 Yankees in the World Series or Mitch Williams. They couldn't go back to their teams. Better off, changing scenarios or vistas. But for me, Grisham is a guy who fits the Padres really, really well because Margot, I still like Margot, but he has not proven he can hit right-handed pitching. Right. So the combo of those two guys in the center field, I think, could be a good one for the Padres.
By the way, I spoke with Christian Yelich at the World Series. He was receiving the Hank Aaron Award, and he said, I would have screwed up that play as well. So you're talking about a former Gold Glover who is admitting that that wasn't an easy play. So there you go. The one thing that's interesting for me is Urias. When the Brewers released a statement that they made the trade, they said we traded for the shortstop. And we only know Urias as a second baseman at the major league level. So that's going to be interesting because Arcia did not give them much offensively. So he's going to be moving around the diamond. He could end up at short. He could end up at third. Obviously, they like Hira at second base, so it's going to be real interesting to see what the Brewers do with him.
That's a good pickup by you, Rosie, because they did say shortstop. I have a feeling you might see Arcia maybe non-tendered when we get to Monday based on what he's going to be due in service time and his numbers. That may not be a commitment they want to make. So is he a major league? Is Urias a major league shortstop? Some people think he is. Let's see. Remember, they still have to figure out if Hira is a real full-time second baseman. He's got some defensive issues. Obviously, they'll work on that, but you love the bat.
All right, Tommy, we've got 45 seconds on this. San Diego is playing host to the winter meetings in a couple of weeks. Are they primed for a big-time splash? Because the owner came out and said, hey, it's nice to have the #1 farm system. We got to start winning games.
I think they could be, and I think you may be talking about a big-time starting pitcher. That's the need. You got Paddock there, the sheriff. You got Davies now in that rotation. You got the makings of a pretty good rotation here, but if you're talking about contending in 2020, not just taking a step forward, I'm talking about contending for the postseason, man, you want to put Steven Strasburg or somebody like that in the Padres Brown uni, don't you?
Yep, absolutely. Tweet at us, Intentional Talk. Let us know what you would do if you were, the GM of the Padres, AJ Preller. What's the next move you would do after signing Pomerantz and making a trade with the Brewers?